Nu sender jeg faktisk live, men det börjar ikke før en klokkan til allmenn. Ja, dette er et ordentligt, altså. Simon? Hæ? Ja. Ja. Alt helt er for å rote litt. Ja, ikke. Så vi tatt altså 30 viewers av jeg gjør alt da. Fyra. Ja? Ja. Men så er det mekanikerne. Her er også helt annet. Ikke vise noe slik det er siden der. Ja. Her er før så det er akkurat det. Men man vet ikke hvor hyggelig, så det er fint. Så er du for en halv nå? Nei. När blir det? Det är klart, bara nästa runda, ja. En efter hända vän? Kanske ska bli här och så. Ja. Tycker jag bara så så. Ja, jag hade med något hatt. Jo, det är akkurat det. Jag hade kanske börja inte längre livliga, eller vad? Ja. Vi börjar förhögt alltså. Ja. Just så. Woo! Echo. Ja. Nu är 2 viewers här. Ja. Hur är 2 viewers här? Det är bara. Det är rätt grovt. Ja. To enable sound, tack vare du Ion, ja? Ja, super. Hello everyone and welcome to another remote tour of the Faroe Islands. We are right now at Vagar Airport. Introduktion, ha? Dåligt. Det är riktigt att fokusera. Hello everyone and welcome to another virtual tour of the Faroe Islands. My name is Sara and I will be your tour guide today. I am here with my co-worker and friend Alta. We work with Visit Faroe Islands. And also with us here today is the fire chief and incident commander here of Vagar Airport, because right now we are situated in Vagar Airport on the island of Vagar. As we get started, I'd like to talk a little bit more about these virtual tours. What it is a new tourism tool called remote tourism, where you get to explore the Faroe Islands within the comfort of your own home. And the reason that we started this project is because we know there are many people who had already planned and booked trips to the Faroe Islands, but now that trip has been put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We hope this gives you a feeling that you still get to explore the Faroe Islands, and also just for anyone else who is interested in the Faroe Islands and maybe you've been at home for a long time, and we hope this gives you a regained sense of freedom where you get to explore the Faroe Islands within the comfort of your own home. And we are ready to start. I'm very excited about this tour. It's a very unique tour today because we are in the airport. As you can see, due to the pandemic, this place is very empty at the moment, as I believe that most airports in the world are right now. There's not a lot of traffic, but this also gives us a very unique opportunity to get a sneak peek behind the scenes of the airport here. Right there, that's where you go when you're supposed to go on the helicopter. We have Atlantic Airways has helicopter service to some of the islands here in the Faroe Islands. As you can see, there is not a person in sight. Here you can see this is the meeting point for the passengers for the helicopters. They have two helicopters. This right here is usually where the safety instructions are shown. Out here is just a parking lot. Let's see if this is open. It's closed. Oh, there we go. Have me run, all right. Right here, we are looking at the old airport, actually. The airport here expanded in 2014. They made it bigger because the number of travelers to the Faroe Islands had increased a lot. And so they made it bigger. They wanted it to house about 400,000 travelers a year. And they expected to reach that number by 2025. But I can tell you that already in 2019, they reached a good number of 424,281 passengers last year. And so the number of travelers increased a lot before we expected it to increase that much. And here on the grass, it's not unusual to see sheep grazing. Right now, we can't see any. That's not unusual here. Forward. And so Voar Airport is located on the island of Voar. And before 2002, it wasn't connected to the mainland. But in 2002, there came a subsea tunnel, which made it connected to the mainland. And it was the first subsea tunnel in the Faroe Islands. Right now, we are walking away from the airport, which we can also do if you want, but we have gotten special permission. We have special permission to go behind the scenes inside of the airport. But I don't know if you can see it from here, but that is the old airport tower that you can see up there. Walking forward. I was talking to the director of the airport earlier today. His name is Jayan. He said that they are very much looking forward to this pandemic to settle down so that they can welcome travelers again to this airport, because as of now it's empty. They do Atlantic Airways, the national airline here in the Faroe Islands, makes only 3 trips a week. There's also another airline that flies to the Faroe Islands. It's SAS or SAS, and they have stopped all flying right now. And even the travelers that come here is the essential travels. All non-essential traveling to the Faroe Islands is at the moment discouraged. Let's jump. One very interesting fact is that this airport was originally a military installation that was built during Second World War. Let's jump. It's good that I can run and jump. It's getting a little bit chilly outside. Now I feel nice and warm again. And so the Faroe Islands were occupied by the British military during Second World War. And this airport stems from that period. Then I believe it was in 1960s that they wanted to open it to passengers. But the Faroe Islands didn't have its own airline until 1988, was it? Yes, 1988. That's when the national airline Atlantic Airways became. Let's run. And we're jumping. And so as of now, we have 2 airlines that fly to the Faroe Islands. And we also have one ferry that goes from Iceland and Denmark to the Faroe Islands. And there in the distance, you can see a big lake. That is the biggest lake in the Faroe Islands, called Leidisvatn, but it's also known as Sørvágsvatn. We're running away from the airport. So you're not as interested in seeing more of the airport as I am, right? Yes, there we see the largest lake in the Faroe Islands, Leidisvatn. This is not a bad place to land, really, when you first arrive in the Faroe Islands, because just a few minutes drive from the airport, we have many very popular spots running. One of them is Bøvur. Maybe some of our viewers have been there, in Gásadalur, Múlafossur. Turning right. And so if you ever get a chance to travel to the Faroe Islands, which I hope you do, I would recommend that you do a few stops here on the island of Vagar before you go to your final destination. Yes, we can go forward. And in case we have any new viewers with us, this tour today is from the airport in the Faroe Islands, the only airport, Airport Vagar. You see it right there. Left. Maybe you can hear that we're having a little bit of wind. I'm not sure what the degrees today are outside. Maybe 7? 7 degrees Celsius. All right. And if you'd like, we can go and have a closer look at the airport, get a little behind the scenes. Turn left. Yes, great idea. Let's go closer. Here at the airport is also a police station and a fire station. Left, run. I believe you want me to run this way. Forward here. Going forward away from the airport. Going forward. And so for those of you who are not so familiar with the Faroe Islands, we are a small country located between Norway and Iceland, and we consist of 18 small islands, of which 17 are inhabited. We have a population of 52,000 people in the Faroe Islands, and on this island that we are on right now is there live about 3,400 people. Running. Right here we have the old airport tower. Now we're getting out to the main road. We'll have to be a little bit careful. If you ask me to turn to the left and go forward, we'll be going down towards the airport, and there I'll be able to show you a little bit closer to the aircraft and even into the fire station if you'd like. We can go out onto the runway. Yes, great idea. Let's go closer to the airport. And the lake that I was talking about a little bit earlier, just a few moments ago, I was talking about the largest lake in the Faroe Islands. It's right here next to the airport. There's actually a a legend or a myth of a nix, or known. It's a mythical creature. In Faroese, it's known as Nikurin. He is said to have lived in the lake, and then a magician, if you may, forward, he enchanted him so that he would get locked inside of a stone or a rock, and that rock is still there. And it is said that if you go there and put your ear close to the rock, you can still hear the mythical creature, the Nix, trying to get out. It was an evil creature, by the way. So let's jump. Yes, let's turn left. And in case we have any new viewers, what we're looking at right here is the airport in the Faroe Islands. Turning left. Known as Voar Airport or Vagar Airport. Many people might think that getting to the Faroe Islands, I know that many people think that it's a little bit out of reach, maybe. It's far away and isolated. But the truth of the matter is that now I'm in the middle of the road, turning left. Okay, running. The truth of the matter is that we have really good connections to neighboring countries. Usually we have direct flights, many direct flights through the day to Copenhagen. We have direct flights to Bergen and Iceland, Edinburgh. I'm just going to move out of the way. Even Paris and many other destinations we have direct flights to. Usually, of course, not now because of the pandemic. All non-essential travel is discouraged. Yes. Here on this island, we have 6 villages, 3 larger ones and 3 small ones. They're called, the large ones are called Muvavur, Survavur, and Sandavavur. And I don't know if you noticed, all of them end with Vavur, and Vavur means bay. They're all situated on a bay, and so they have beautiful black sand beaches. And I imagine many people have used those beaches the last week because, as some of you might know, we've had really great weather. Today is the first day in a long time that we don't have a blue sky. And actually, tonight there will be a concert right by the airport runway. Okay, we're jumping, running. A very famous singer whose name is Kaitur. Turn right. He's having a drive-in concert there today. It's actually right there down by the water, which will be very interesting. He was supposed to be on a tour right now, but of course he can't do that because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so he's having a drive-in concert instead, right by the runway here at the airport. Would you like me to run this way? I didn't really get that. All right, turning right. Running. Turning left. Jumping. There's an airport car right there. Going forward. Yes, we're running forward. Jumping. And so the building that you can see right there, that is the old airport. They built this thing that was put in use in 2014. Running forward, going forward. Yes, this place right here. It was built so that it could house 400,000 passengers yearly, and they believed that they would maybe reach that number in by 2025. But already last year, 2019, they had a total number of 424,281 passengers traveling through. So the number of passengers has increased a lot faster than expected. I mean, some people might have expected it, but most people probably didn't. And so naturally in 2020, we hoped that the number would increase even more and we would beat new records. Of course, that won't happen. But hey, on the other side, I bet you we have reached some new records with virtual tourists, thanks to you. We haven't had this many virtual tourists to the Faroe Islands before. And so we appreciate you and thank you to everyone who's watching. Of course, we hope that this inspires you to one time come in person and visit the Faroe Islands when travel is advised again. Yes, let's go inside. Ingongt. That means entrance, as you can see. There we go. Now it's nice and warm. And so we have permission to go through security and into the duty-free shop right here and get out on the other side of the airport if you'd like. Although if we go there, I'm gonna have to cover the camera once we are in security, but as soon as we get out of there, we'll be in the duty-free shop. And maybe we can go out on the other side and have a closer look at the airplanes. Here on my left, that's the door through security. If you'd like to go in there, you can ask me to go forward. As you can see, this place is completely abandoned at the moment. Here on my right, we have the duty-free shop, which is a very important part of the travel when Faroe Islanders travel, because we love a good duty-free wear or good. Turn left. This is the arrival hall. That's where the passengers come through when they come to the Faroe Islands. Maybe some of our viewers have come through those doors at one point. Turn right. As you can see, everything is closed off. If you ask me to turn left, I can give you a better view than this. Just turn. Yes, great idea. Would you like us to maybe go out on the other side of the airport? Yes. The birds that you're seeing hanging from the ceiling here, they are made by a famous Faroese artist, Skjöldur Pettersson. We talked about him actually on our tour yesterday. In case any of you were watching, he The person who made this is the same person who made the gate into the church yesterday. If you ask me to turn right once more, we will be going through security through the airport. And another fun fact about the national airline here, Atlantic Airways, they name all their aircrafts and helicopters after distinguished fairways artists. I can name a few: William Heinesen, Ingolfur Reine, Mykines, Ruth Smith, turning right, left, and forward. Yes, I think you want me to go through security. Is that correct? Yes. So we're going to go into security. I'm just going to cover the camera for safety reasons. I'll promise I'll let you see as soon as we're out of the security again. Going through security here. As you can see, there's no one here. Now we're in duty free. This is quite special, isn't it? To be able to walk through a completely empty airport or run through a completely empty airport. Turning right. You can say hello in the mirror there. And running. You're running straight towards the good stuff, I can see. Running, jumping. You want me to run and jump? I'll do a little run for you, but I can't run and jump at the same time, unfortunately. There's the airport cafe. They offer a lot of great choices, cold dishes and drinks. And also on the airport, you can buy a variety of warm and cold dishes. And also they have a bar for all travelers. Forward. Forward. I'm just checking to we're jumping. The small plane, black plane that you can see right there is a medical airplane. It arrived here today while I was still here, and it's gonna leave again tonight. Probably with people that need medical treatment outside of the country. So this is where you usually go when you travel when you're going out of the Faroe Islands. Turning right. It's a very strange feeling actually to be walking in this place while it's completely emptied of people. I haven't tried that before. Forward. Here on my right. Yes. Forward. Yes, let's go forward. Ah, there we go. There we go. Going forward. Now we're outside again, as you can see. Yes, let's go forward. We can have a closer look, but we can't go too close. We can go a little bit closer. Here we have one of the aircrafts of Atlantic Airways, the national airline here in the Faroe Islands. And like I said earlier, we haven't always had our own national airline, but in March 1988, Atlantic Airways landed in Vagar Airport for the first time. Of course, it was a day of celebration for the Faroese, who for the first time were able to fly with their own wings. But the establishment of the company was far from easy. According to the company, it was a combination of determination, luck, and chance that made the Faroese dream of having a national airline come true. And like I mentioned earlier, today we have two different airlines flying to the Faroe Islands, which is, like I said, Atlantic Airways and also SAS. There we have the airport hangar. I think maybe we even have permission to go inside the hangar if you want. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And so Atlantic Airways has three different aircrafts and two helicopters. And the helicopter service that they have is right now in this time, they fly to three different islands of the Faroe Islands, the only islands where you can't go by boat. But there are about 10 heliports in the Faroe Islands. What we're looking at right here is the old part of the airport. You can go a little bit closer, have a look. This is what they call an Airbus. And so in 2011, the runway, we can't go any closer than this, sorry. The runway here was expanded a couple of 100 meters, turning left. And of course, that made it possible for all different types of aircrafts to land here. And so the aircrafts that fly to the Faroe Islands are equipped with pretty advanced technology because, like most of you probably know, the weather conditions here in the Faroe Islands can be quite tricky. So they have really good technology for the Faroese aircrafts. Let's jump in front of the aircraft. I see what you're talking about. Going a little bit closer. We can't go too close though. Have a look here. Running forward, running towards the black plane here, which I mentioned earlier. It's for health treatment patients, for the lack of a better word. And there in the background is the hangar. And inside the hangar, they have the third aircraft, I believe, that belongs to Atlantic Airways, and also some helicopters. You can go inside if you want. And here on my left side is the fire station. And like I said earlier, with me here, I have the fire chief and also my coworker Alta. And the fire chief is with us because he gives us permission to these different things. And he opens the doors for us here. And so if you want to go inside somewhere, I can ask him for permission if you want to go and have a look at the fire trucks. Or maybe even if you want to go for a drive, I could ask him. That would be a little bit tricky though. If you want to go forward, I can go through the door here. Then we'll be going inside. Oh, sorry, did you want to go to the right? I'll just give you a quick look at the fire trucks here. If you want me to go back out, you can just ask me to go backwards. We are right now in the fire station here at Vagar Airport. Vagar Airport Fire and Rescue, it says. Left again. And so on this airport is a fire station, also a police station, along with the airport itself. And we're jumping. And of course, usually people are not allowed inside of here, but we got special permission just for you guys, for our virtual tourists. In case some new viewers just joined us and you're wondering where we are at the fire station in Vagar Airport. If you'd like me to go somewhere else, you just direct me. As you can see, the airplanes are right outside. Turning left. There's the door. Yes. Turning right. And we're back outside. And we're running. Run. I was driving in one of these yellow cars earlier, or the fire chief, he was driving, and I was a passenger, and we were driving on the runway. It was a very interesting drive, and I believe we are allowed to go on a drive like that if you'd like, although that wasn't part of the plan, but anything can happen. And so there is a lot of beautiful spots here around. You can see the scenery is already so beautiful. And when you're driving away from Vagar Airport, yes, let's go forward, you'll be driving by the largest lake in the Faroe Islands, Leidesvatn, otherwise known as Sørvágsvatn. And there I told you a story about the Nix, and that is a mythical creature that is said to have lived there. And you will see the Nix in the shape of a horse. It's a statue. You will see that when you drive away from the airport. It's a beautiful statue. Again, looking at the aircraft, getting a pretty close up. And we can't go underneath the aircraft. So if you want me to run, I'm gonna have to run this way. Forward, walking towards the runway. Oh, left, sorry, that was left. Hang on, guys, I'm just gonna communicate something with my coworker here, Alta. I'll be right back. I'll take your directions in the meantime. All right, guys, I'm back now. Sorry about that. We were just debating whether or not we should go for a drive in one of the big fire trucks. Wouldn't that be special to go on a drive on the runway in a big fire truck? Then we can go to the end of the runway and I'll give you a beautiful view over the village of Survivor, where you can see over to the island of Mykonos, and it's a beautiful view over there. So I think that in a moment's time he's gonna pick us up in the big fire truck that we saw just earlier. And we're gonna take a drive on the runway here in Vagar Airport. And of course, this is not something that you are allowed to do every day here in the Faroe Islands. I personally have never tried anything like it. So I'm very happy to do this with you guys today. Turning right. And of course, we have the very lovely staff at Atlantic Airways and at Vagar Airport to thank for this opportunity. He's gonna get us now in the fire truck, as you see over there. So while we are in the fire truck and driving towards um, that view that you see over there, when we're driving that way, you won't be able to control the fire truck. But as soon as we get there, I'll go out of the truck and then you'll be able to control me again where we should go. Going forward, running. Right over there, we have the airport tower. Of course, the airport tower is closed right now because there's no one in there due to the pandemic. I mean, of course, when the flights are here, they probably use it. Turning right, here we have the fire truck. Let's go inside, shall we? Here we have Fire Chief Jakob. Hello. Oof, I've never been in a fire truck before. Maybe some of our viewers have been in a fire truck at some point. I know I haven't. Yes, I agree with you. Let's go forward. Very cool. And so, like I said earlier, unfortunately, right now while we are in this truck, you won't be able to control us unless you ask me to go forward and then to the right. But as soon as we reach our destination, I will go outside of the truck and you'll be able to control me again. We're gonna turn right in a little bit. Yes, I agree with you. Let's go forward. Great choice. Let's do a virtual jump. And as you can see, our friend here, Jakob, the fire chief and the incident commander, he just asked them to turn on the lights for us. Can you see that? Again, a special service for our virtual tourists today. Going forward, the island that you can see right ahead there is Mykonos. To get to there, you have to go by helicopter, and naturally, you take the helicopter here from Vagar Airport to get to that place. And the village that you're seeing right here is Survivor. And now I'm gonna go outside so that you get to control me again. Let's see how we do this. Kommer vi kan oh, there we go. Tack för Jakob. And left. Here we have Alda, coworker, and Jakob, the fire chief, who was so kind to take us on a drive in that big fire truck right there. Going forward. Yes, let's run. I'm sure you believe me when I say that this is the first time I've ever been here where we are right now. This is not a place where people usually just go. Yes, this is perfect. Right now we are looking at Survivor. I'm not sure what the population of this village is, but it is one of the bigger villages here on Vuar, on the island of Vuar. The island that you can see over there is Mykonos. That's the westernmost island in the Faroe Islands. Turning right. It's a very popular destination as well to go to, especially for bird watchers. I don't know if you're familiar with the bird species puffins. People usually go there when they want to see puffins. We have about 110 different bird species here in the Faroe Islands, by the way, which is quite a lot. A lot of them are seasonal birds. And this is definitely a season where we have a lot of birds traveling to the Faroe Islands. Fortunately, they are not affected by the corona pandemic, so they still get to travel. And so we have a lot of different bird species here in the Faroe Islands. One of them is the national bird, which is the oyster catcher. There's a ride right there. Going forward. On the other side of this runway is Loidisvatn or Surboksvatn that I have been talking quite a lot about on this tour. Going forward, we have a few minutes left of this tour. Turning left. And I must say this has been a very unique experience for me and my coworker. And I hope you guys feel inspired to come to this airport in person once travel is safe again. Of course, for the time being, all non-essential travels are discouraged. But hopefully soon this pandemic will settle and we'll be able to welcome you guys back to the Faroe Islands. You know what? A special shout out or hello to a friend, Cole. We received a very heartwarming email from one of our virtual tourists. His name was Cole, and in case you're watching, Cole, thank you very much for that heartwarming email. We really appreciate your feedback and we hope to see you in the Faroe Islands soon. Okay, we'll run left. Sorry, that was right. I'm getting confused. We have about 3 minutes left of this tour. I must tell you guys, today I've just followed your instructions and I haven't even been sure if I was allowed to do all these things. That's why Jakob, he was with us, but he has allowed us to do a lot of things today that we usually are not allowed to. So we are very thankful for that. And they even turned on the lights for us. Isn't that beautiful? A special thank you to Vagar Airport for the stay in this tour. And to Jakob, the fire chief. Anyways, guys, this tour is coming to an end, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself at least half as much as I have, because that means you have enjoyed it quite a lot. I hope to see you guys on our next tour, which will be, I'll get back to you on that. I'm not really sure. But whenever this live stream ends, you'll be able to see it on the screen if you're on the website, the countdown for our next tour. It will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time +1. And so I hope to see many of you guys there. And until then, of course, stay safe. And lastly, we hope to see you guys soon in person. This was Sarah and Alta from Visit Faroe Islands, and also Jakob, who is the incident commander here on War Airport. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.